Good morning, everyone. How y'all doing? Today is one of the last mornings that we're going to have in the 40s. By the end of the week, we're going to be up to 93, and the evening lows will only be 58, I believe. And then we will just continue to climb from there. To all you the new subscribers, thank you so much. My name is Deanne. I live in Fresno, California, which is Zone 9B. We have very long, hot summers. I remember the first year we moved here in April during Easter when our kids were really young. I was already running the air conditioner. It can depend. We haven't had to do that yet. Our summers can start between April and May. Normally they should start around June and they can last all the way through September. Living here in Fresno means we have a very long growing period. Today I wanted to take you on a backyard garden and patio tour. I kind of feel like I should have done the backyard before we did the front yard because our geraniums back here were in so much full bloom that you couldn't even see the green foliage. They're still blooming, but they're beginning to not bloom as profusely as they were. I wanted to start this morning over by our garden shed, and the reason why is, and I haven't finished mulching everything, so if you see parts that haven't been mulched, I needed to go buy some more, so I didn't get everything mulched the way I wanted to. But I wanted to start off with our lemon cypress. I will try and put the date down below of when we bought this at Christmas, and I planted it in our front kitchen window box. And that was really only a few short years ago, and I would say it's taller than the shed. And it has done very well. This area right here will receive morning sun till about, I don't know, 12, 1, and then from there it's pretty much shaded the rest of the afternoon. These are Proven Winners Dianthus, and I picked these up on clearance, the geraniums on clearance, the lantana, this is bandana yellow in the front, which is not going to bloom until it gets really hot. Back here are irises that we took from the front and divided and put them all in our backyard. And this, if you can imagine, is a Proven Winners Black Lace Elderberry. I bought 2 of these and planted them up front, and they struggled so much. They are not my zone. However, I'm wondering if they struggled because they were on the west side of our house and they were hammered with our heat. And by the end of the day, they would just look super droopy. They wouldn't grow much. I know these things can get huge, but since I've put them here, they have flourished. And I kind of now have to keep it in check because it does so well. For those of you who want to try your hand at a black lace elderberry and you live in a hot zone, this has done well for us with morning sun, afternoon shade. I think it was spring 2020 when we planted, was it 16, 18? I forget. I will make sure that I put the amount of 12-inch creeping fig all along our back wall. I ran black poly along the whole bottom of the creeping fig, and at each plant we put a 5-gallon-per-hour emitter. We have really strict water restrictions here, and that is why I put 5-gallon emitters on each plant. The majority of this is shaded except for the very end, and you can see our dog run area all the way through. We ran fencing wire, about 2 feet from each other, and I know you don't technically need to have the fencing wire, but both of us knew, we've seen it so much here in California where it falls off the side of the freeway, drive-throughs. It's beautiful, and once it falls off, you can't get it back on. So what we did is we gradually fed it through the wires, and of course now you don't even see the wires because it's just grown through it. And it does not invade the next side. We always make sure that it's not going over on the other side of the wall or going through the wall. And then of course we have these lights that my husband ran up on top that come on automatically every night. And so it lights up the entire back wall. This is probably one of the things that we've done that I'm probably the most proud of, because I had no idea that this would cover the wall so quickly. And when you're sitting on our patio, it's just a beautiful green backdrop to everything that we've planted in front of it. The reason I did want to make for those of you that are new, we have kept this area open right here. Our German Shepherd Chief loves to run around the perimeter, and we're hoping that he always tries to stay here instead of going through the flower beds. We're not always successful with that, and I'll show you a few examples of that. But he knows to use this pathway, and then there's we have 2 other entrance and exits that he can come out of from here. I wanted to talk about our Japanese maple, but I also, if you happen to have watched the video that we did a few weeks ago, planting a creative way to keep our dog out of the flower beds, I had shown you these impatiens that I overwintered. And you know what's funny about this? I don't know if I mentioned in the video that these were all different colors when I first planted them last summer, and they overwintered, but they're all coming back white. I think that's kind of interesting. This tree probably should have come out years ago. I thought about taking it out last year. I just couldn't bear to take it down. But over the winter, you won't be able to tell. We had so much dead tree up here that we had to cut out, and it's on its last leg. So we've been pricing some red Japanese maples, and I'm hoping that come October, September, October, now's not the time for us to plant a tree like that at all. But we were pricing them, and I think come September, October, we're going to put a new tree in here. So this whole area is going to be revamped. So I don't really want to talk much about it, because everything's going to change in this little corner right here. This is one of those flower beds that I was talking about in reference to our German Shepherd. Right here is our bedroom window, and when we let him out, if he is not able to get in as quickly as he wants to be inside, he will find a way to maneuver through this flower bed and get as close to the window as he can. And because of that, this flower bed doesn't look as healthy as it could, because he has laid on, snapped, broken so many plants. And that is why you'll probably see a menagerie here of little gates and topiary forms to try and keep him out. Right here is one of the 3 Proven Winners Evening Rose Hibiscus that we took out of the west side by our front yard, where we did the stone pathway. That area gets shade all day and then gets the afternoon sun. And I was trying to protect them because I didn't think that they could handle our sun. But I'm thinking that's what they want, because they're already so much bigger now than they've ever been when we had them on that side. So I have one on this side of the doghouse. I have one on this side, you'll see. I have some dianthus, some dusty miller, some agapanthus, lamb's ear, ogon grass, and these are 2 different euonymus on both sides of the rock. And we picked these up on clearance, but I don't think they had a name of what variety they were. And then behind here, this, again, something I'm trying to block our dog with, those are butterfly bushes. Those potentially will be as high as the window, if not even higher. And then through the end here, I have some heliotrope with more ogon grass. And this is the last of the African daisy that my dog didn't destroy. I had so many of them. It already was this big. It was probably 3 feet by 4 feet. I didn't prune it back in time. So it already bloomed, and we've cut it back. It will bloom again. This is one of those geraniums that I have all the way down to the end of our property line, and you can tell I need to snap some of these that are kind of getting old, but they still have lots of buds on them, and I'm gonna have to come in and prune this because this guy's getting huge. Geraniums do very well in our area. And they will bloom all year long, but not as full and prolific as they do in the springtime. This is a topiary I built a few years ago. Most of all the topiaries I have do better outside than they do inside. That's probably because they don't like the air conditioning and the heating possibly in my house, but they do very well out here. Against the back fence are plumbago, again, that I pulled from the west side of our house. I don't think they were getting as much sun as they should. We will see how they perform this year, and I am hoping that they grow as tall as the fence, the little picket fence that we have here, and they'll have a beautiful blue flower. Now below that you'll see some petunias. This is the first year I've ever done petunias back here. Petunias and I have a complicated relationship. I don't think they like our afternoon heat. This gets filtered sun off and on all day long. This is purple trailing lantana. On each side of the picket fence we have nandina, and this is standard, like a tabletop, I guess you would say, hydrangea, and you can already tell it's gonna start blooming here pretty soon. More proven winners, dianthus and artemisia. These are the impatiens that I planted a few weeks ago, and look how beautiful they are already. I just love that how they fill out the basket and are starting to trail over. I wish I knew the variety of these geraniums. These are part of the budget plants that I bought. I think I picked each plant up for $3, I believe. It might have been $5, but they're such a great performer here in our area, and they can withstand our heat. They don't wilt in our afternoon sun, and if I face this way, I'm facing south, and so they get hammered with our sun all day long. This area in front of our Perfume Breeze climbing roses, I need to revamp. When I planted all this, it was very, very small, and the dianthus and some of the lantana is starting to get choked out a bit. I will wait until the fall before we pull all this up and kind of move some plants around. This is the potato vine, and it's been blooming like crazy. Can you believe how thick it is compared to when we first planted it? Maybe I'll link the video down below, and it is just, again, another plant that can withstand our heat. And this is the last of the hibiscus that I replanted, and funny enough, I'm wondering if it's not doing well because it's not in enough sun. I'm not comfortable moving it right now. I don't want to ruin it. I will wait until it goes dormant in the fall. We'll just have to see how it performs, but clearly it's not as tall already as the ones over near our bedroom window. This is the edge of our property line here where the creeping fig, and you'll see we have some chicken wire down here. That's to keep our dog from kind of rummaging through this area. We give him one small area right here to look at the neighbors. I think they have a tortoise and a few turtles. They have a few chihuahuas, and he will just sit and look through the little slats and just stare at them all day long. But he never barks at him, so I think he wishes he could go over there and play with them, but he can't. And then this is our Oklahoma redbud right here. And lastly, let's look at our hydrangeas. All these are our Merit Supreme hydrangeas, and they've budded up They're going to be blooming here soon, and I'll make sure I come back and show you what they all look like. Down below is lamium and the begonias that I overwintered, and you can tell that the lamium's kind of encroaching onto the poor begonias. And then of course these are the ones that sat in here all winter, and I thought I was going to lose them, and here they are, as thick as can be. I almost feel like I should take them out and kind of separate them. My basket liners are looking a little tattered. I think that's because the birds pick at them and try and build a nest. On this area where our Merit Supreme were out, this is where we had a leak, and I couldn't even tell you how long it was leaking. I'm so disappointed in myself that my husband and I didn't catch it sooner. This is why they don't look as healthy as they should. I kind of wanted to replace them, but because they were pushing growth, I decided not to. And funny enough, we were at a local nursery here in town. Merit Supreme hydrangeas are hard to find over here. I found one this size that I could have bought, and it was over $100. So I thought, nope. I'm not going to give up on these down here. So this next season, probably sometime late July, last week of July, first week of August, I'll come in and I'll prune these. And I'm hoping that next year, now that the leak has been fixed, this will all come back much healthier with far more blooms than they do this year. But I'm not ready to give up on them. We had a pretty heavy rain over the weekend, and these aren't looking as tight as they should. I think these are baby Gem Boxwood that I had in the front urns many years ago when they were super, super small. And I think that's why there's a size difference, because and by my front door, one urn gets morning sun, one urn gets afternoon sun. I got these at Walmart. I picked them up on clearance for $1 each, and I think they were $5.97 a pot. They were in 4-inch pots. I never thought to check Walmart for clearance plants, but that's where I picked up a lot of the dianthus. They were $10 a pot, and I bought 7 or 8 for $2.50 each. So could you imagine spending could you imagine spending $10 on 7 dianthus versus $2.50 what I paid per pot? So look at Walmart for clearance plants. Watch to the end of the video. I'll make sure that I do a pan of my back patio and all the plants that I have. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon. Bye.